fish blasting with me? I'll get grounded for a whole day, but it's way worth it because the fish tastes so good. Dodoko? Dodoko, where are you? What is this place? Is this really the way we need to go? Wow. Who would have thought there'd be a place like this hidden right slap bang in the middle of the city?
The sages wanted to realize their god creation plan without being discovered. The safest and most convenient way would be to build within the academia itself.
That's true. They were already hiding one god, so why not two?
Judging from the structure here, the project is a huge undertaking. The sages really saw the god creation plan as their ultimate goal. But this place doesn't look like it could have been constructed by the academia alone. The Fatui under the doctor sure didn't hold back. They provided a lot of technological support.
Yeah, or else they wouldn't have been that generous.
Is that it, though? I've always felt that this doctor, instead of being interested in the end product, it's like...
The Fatui Harbinger...
So, this Fatui that they're trying to turn into a god is called the Balladeer? We had previously come into contact with his consciousness. One is the desire for a gnosis, since he was created to be the vessel for one. The other obsession is probably related to his past.
Paimon knows that he was a prototype puppet for the Raiden Shogun before he became a Fatui Harbinger. That's why he wants a gnosis so badly. There's no way he'd willingly be a test subject. Now with that temper and ego of his...
It sounds like you know the Balladeer quite well. I see. Tell me more about him and what he's like. The more we know now, the better we can plan for and react to any future situation. I see. Alright, time to go. Let's get through here and meet him in person.
Work out! Let's begin!
Shine down!
Hold the line! Jumpy, jumpy, go! Boy, go!
This isn't good.
Woo! Da-da-da! Dodoko? Dodoko, where are you? These bombs, so heavy. Dodoko? Dodoko, where are you? Explosion inside city wall. Grounded be thy woe. Explosions can... It looks like we can climb up these pipes. Cleeby doody.
Solidify!
On the ground seems all messed up. Let's go around and see if there's a way to fix it. It seems to have stopped. Let's continue.
Stabilize!
Let's begin.
Jumpy Dumpty Go!
This isn't good.
These bombs, so heavy. Dodoko? Dodoko, where are you?
Frozen.
Fine, fine, fine!
Solidify!
Illusion shattered!
Hold the line!
There is no escape!
stuck. Maybe there's something wrong with the tracks. Let's try adjusting the direction of the device to clear the tracks.
I'll put you on high heat.
Stabilize!
Shine down!
Rust and rebuild!
Shouldn't get careless.
Da-da-da. Boing, boing, boing!
Solidify! Gather!
Hold the line! Allow me!
Stabilize!
Hold the line!
Let's end this quickly.
Jumpy, jumpy, go! Blazing for light!
This is it. Come at me. Looks like I went too far.
Solidify!
Illusion shattered!
Rust and rebuild!
Order guide you!
Boing, boing!
detached from the world.
Hold the line!
Looking at its operational status, we must prepare for the worst. The god they...
Oh no! What should we do? Paimon can't imagine how hard it would be to fight against a Fatui Harbinger with a Gnosis!
Are you nervous, Paimon?
If you really want to know... Of course Paimon's nervous! Aren't you too, Nahida?
Yes, I am. This is probably the first time I faced with a calamity of this degree since my birth. I feel not just nervous, but curious as well.
Curious?
Curious about our fate. To me, everything we perceive in this world, everything we learn, and everything that happens to us is considered knowledge.
Too, Nahida?
Yes, I am. This is probably the first time I faced with a calamity of this degree since my birth. I feel not just nervous, but curious as well.
Curious?
Curious about our fate. To me, everything we perceive in this world, everything we learn, and everything that happens to us is considered knowledge.
Too, Nahida?
Yes, I am. This is probably the first time I faced with a calamity of this degree since my birth. I feel not just nervous, but curious as well.
Curious?
Curious about our fate. To me, everything we perceive in this world, everything we learn, and everything that happens to us is considered knowledge.
Too, Nahida?
Yes, I am. This is probably the first time I faced with a calamity of this degree since my birth. I feel not just nervous, but curious as well.
Curious?
Curious about our fate. To me, everything we perceive in this world, everything we learn, and everything that happens to us is considered knowledge.
Too, Nahida?
Yes, I am. This is probably the first time I faced with a calamity of this degree since my birth. I feel not just nervous, but curious as well.
Curious?
Curious about our fate. To me, everything we perceive in this world, everything we learn, and everything that happens to us is considered knowledge.
Too, Nahida?
Yes, I am. This is probably the first time I faced with a calamity of this degree since my birth. I feel not just nervous, but curious as well.
Curious?
Curious about our fate. To me, everything we perceive in this world, everything we learn, and everything that happens to us is considered knowledge. And if it's a form of knowledge, then it can be understood. However, only fate is about that which has yet to occur. So to me, this is probably the first time ultimate knowledge. That's also why I love observing humans. And now, at long last, I'm not just an observer anymore. I will personally experience my own fate with you.
Ah, so that's what you mean.
Agreed. Okay, let's continue on. I can sense his aura from here.
Who would have thought the world would be so eager for my birth? I remember you, Booer, the god of wisdom, and standing beside you, the traveler.
Is he all-knowing and powerful now like Greater Lord Rukkhadevata?
No, I can't feel the same kind of divinity I felt from the Greater Lord. It seems that the sages didn't get the chance to infuse the divine knowledge capsules into him. But even still, he has undoubtedly become a true god now.
So we're too late? The Balladeer has already become a god?
The Balladeer. A long bygone title. When my spirit ascended to divinity, I felt as if I had existed for the same number of epochs as heaven and earth. Looking back, the existence of what once called itself Kunikazushi appears infinitely small and ugly.
This imposing aura, it really feels like the gods!
A body that capitalizes on the Balladeer's original construction as a mechanical puppet, with the Gnosis serving as a constant power supply. How much effort and resources did the sages put into this? From a purely technological perspective, it's a commendable achievement indeed. It's no exaggeration to say, this is the culmination of human wisdom.
You sure are something! Dishing out compliments at a time like this?
But I don't think he's reached the spiritual height of a god.
Strife is engraved upon every god and every gnosis brought forth into this world. Can you feel it? The exhilaration of such power, and the thrill of anticipation for our contention.
Nahida wouldn't feel the same things as you!
Do you not realize that you are interrupting a conversation between gods? Lowly creature, know your place!
The strife engraved upon a gnosis. You're talking about the Archon War. Tevat's current peace was not easily won. I didn't personally participate in the Archon War, but the way I see it, all those losses were meaningless, driven by the demands of the laws.
Is that so? Yet I am deeply disappointed that I was never allowed the fortuity to personally participate in the Archon War. This is a first. Encountering a god in this world who does not crave power. No wonder your own people have abandoned you, god of wisdom. Your judgment is as your existence, unsubstantial. This is where everything ends, Booer, the god of wisdom. You should know that wisdom cannot solve every problem. Like now, where your only option is to face me in combat. Come! Let us reenact a scene of the Archon War. Come and inaugurate my birth as a god.
Stabilize!
Shine down!
Rest and rebuild! Dumpy dumpy go! Blow them all up! Turret, bring refuge! Yeah! Ha!
Insignificant pest!
Solidify! I will have order.
There is no escape!
Boing, boing, boom! Woo! Yeah! Da-da-da! Sparks and flash!
To oblivion!
Stabilize!
Let's move out. La la la.
Tremble!
Solidify!
Rest and rebuild!
Reality is pain! This is supposed to be a battle between gods, yet you choose to hide behind a mortal. And now, you're acting like you'd sacrifice yourself for a human. Are you having fun proving a false sense of heroism to yourself, Boor?
The data collection is almost complete. Do you even know how many times you've tried to take my gnosis from me? We just concluded the 168th loop. Did you know that in the effort to create you, the people of Sumeru were forced to live through the exact same number of Sub-Zerus festivals and samsara cycles?
The power of dreams. When did you use it on me? You can't even defeat me in a dream. What do you hope to achieve with this little trick?
Come, Traveler. Just like before. Allow me to awaken the memories in your dreams.
All that battle experience!
It's more than that. Compile everyone's wisdom in the name of the Archon. That is the original function of the Akasha. I've sent everything that happened just now to the people of Sumeru in the form of knowledge. I've asked them to help you find a way to defeat the false god. Sumeru's wisdom is at your disposal.
Meaningless tricks won't save you. Are you done with your tricks? Can I finally take this as a real battle between gods?
I'll leave this to you, the first sage of Boor.
I am The all-knowing God!
Share my knowledge! Hey!
Jumpy, jumpy, go! Boing, boing,
Burn to oblivion!
blazing to light!
Stabilize.
Everyone hold hands!
Kneel!
Solidify.
Hold the line!
Illusion shattered.
Reality is pain!
This way
Good
through.
riddance, cruel world.
Gather.
Shine down.
Rest and rebuild!
Make yourselves a home!
Boing, boing, boom!
Solidify.
Allow me! I see everything!
Your new god awakens! Now, your eyes have been opened.
Rest and rebuild! Boing, boing, boom! Jumpy, jumpy,
Kneel!
go!
Stabilize.
Illusion shattered.
Solidify.
There is no escape. Shine down.
Reality
Hold the
is
line!
pain!
Illusion shattered.
Allow me!
Kneel!
Hey!
Humans. Filthy humans. No! Wait! Please! Anything but the Gnosis! That's mine! Don't even try! I'll never go back!
We haven't yet found the answer to the most important mystery. Irminsul is still waiting to be saved. With the power of another Gnosis, We may now finally understand the last memory of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata.
This is...
That's right. This is the last memory of my predecessor.
Huh. This sure seems very different from what Paimon imagined. Shouldn't Irminsul be in this realm of consciousness?
Yes, that is our destination. But I didn't expect the remaining consciousness of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata to be as polluted as this. Forbidden knowledge? It seems you know about a concept that even I don't completely understand. Could you tell me what you know? Your inference seems logical enough. Forbidden knowledge once polluted the desert thousands of years ago, but was successfully repelled thanks to King Deshret's self-sacrifice, and Greater Lord Rukkhadevata nearly exhausting her power. Then, a second instance of forbidden knowledge pollution occurred during the Conria Cataclysm 500 years ago. But I'm afraid it is much more serious this time, with Irminsul itself already in danger.
So, if we're in the remaining consciousness of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, and it's also been affected by forbidden knowledge pollution, then does that mean, in order to save us, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata?
Yes. It's very possible that she sacrificed her life in the fight against forbidden knowledge. She didn't completely eradicate forbidden knowledge, but if it weren't for her actions, the pollution would have been far more rampant over these past 500 years. The way that everyone, including me, has forgotten everything about forbidden knowledge may very well be due to her restoration of Irminsul.
Aww. Do you feel sad, Nahida?
I'm just sharing her pain. The pollution of her consciousness here is severe. There is madness, chaos, and pain all around us. Did she fight to resist the forbidden knowledge pollution in such terrible conditions, all the way up to her last breath? She even used her last remnant of lucid consciousness to leave a clue for us to follow. Yes, her words were distorted by forbidden knowledge, so that's all we could hear. But now, we have a chance to find the answer to this mystery. We can cross the polluted consciousness until we found the right path to meet with her lucid consciousness. And then, we'll let Greater Lord Rukkhadevata tell us the truth in person. Each of us need to be mindful of the state of our own consciousness while we are here. Even with the Gnosis' protection, we must always keep a clear mind. Otherwise, we could go mad at any moment.
That's so scary.
Don't worry, it should be easy enough for you to keep that mind of yours clear, Paimon. Let's go.
Are we in the air? And why is there a huge boat?
That's the bowl of consciousness, which symbolizes reason here.
Wow. What are these? The monsters seem to have been affected by them.
Stabilize! Order guide you!
Shine down!
Gather!
Illusion shattered! Ha!
Boing, boing, boing! Woo! Sparks and blast! Covenant of the Deep! Yeah! Rest and rebuild!
Shine down!
Da da da!
Illusion shattered!
Allow me! Look! A four-leaf sigil has appeared in the sky! Woo!
Stabilize!
There is no escape!
Boing, boing, boing!
Solidify! I will have order!
Hold the line! Woo! La la la!
Illusion shattered!
Blazing delight! Jumpy dumpty go! Boing boing boom!
Gather!
Shine down!
This is order!
To control the boat of consciousness, we need to find the helm first. We changed direction. Are we still going the right way, Nahida?
Judging from the current route, the boat of consciousness will soon take us out of here. We'll be arriving at our destination soon. How are you feeling? Are your minds still intact?
Huh? But everything's been completely normal.
Hopefully there won't be any more interruptions. This time, we should be able to meet Greater Lord Rukkhadevata.
Are you saying you've never met Greater Lord Rukkhadevata before?
No, it seems that my birth and her death took place at the same time. Otherwise, I think she would have given me a little more guidance, and I could have done a better job.
Hey, you've done a great job, Nahida. So, is this the place you were talking about? The base of Irminsul?
Well, this is the place.
We're here to find Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, right? But the one standing over there is...
Is that me? She looks exactly like me. Are you Greater Lord Rukkhadevata?
Yes, that's me. Are you surprised by my appearance? Irminsul and the surrounding lands have been reproduced here as they were years ago. We are manifestations of the same nature. Hence why we would appear exactly the same.
We're of the same nature. Why?
Because you are me, and I am you. You are me in the new samsara.
The new samsara?
As Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, I'm the avatar of Irminsul. And you are the purest branch snapped from Irminsul. Imagine it this way. Even if a tree dies, its branches will eventually take root and grow, continuing the tree's life in another form. I'm merely the remaining consciousness of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. The real me has presumably died a long time ago. Judging from your appearance, I've probably been dead for 500 years. But you're finally here. My new self in the samsara.
If this is true, then am I going to be a great archon like you someday?
Though we share the same nature, our fates are bound to be different. All things have their own fate. When a branch grows into a mature tree, it won't be the same as the original tree.
That's why fate is the ultimate knowledge, isn't it?
That's a great insight. Yes, very good. It's also precisely why you won't become like me. But perhaps you may become an even greater archon than I. I already see a determination in you that I didn't possess in my time. And the future that it leads you to will be yours alone, along with the blessings from your past experiences. Don't worry. The growth of wisdom is like that of a plant. You only need to wait quietly for the flower to bloom.
Come to think of it, the sages never had the faintest inkling of the meaning of wisdom.
Thank you. Nothing makes me happier than discovering that the archon I always admired was in fact myself in another fate. It's so nice to speak with you, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. I've always wanted to meet you.
The feeling is mutual. From the moment I snapped the branch off Irminsul and created you, I've also looked forward to talking with you.
Could you tell me why you wanted to create me? And what exactly happened when you died?
Ah, I see. You're here seeking answers, right? Everything that day. even the sky itself, changed into a color like this. At that time, the 7 were all summoned to the nation of Conria. Except for me. I had a more important task to attend to. I had to protect Irminsul. The disaster occurred together with the pollution of forbidden knowledge. At that very moment, with my consciousness connected to Irminsul, I sensed something was wrong. The pain started to torment my mind. By the time I reached Irminsul, it was already displaying signs of corruption. Had I not repelled the pollution of forbidden knowledge with King Deshret thousands of years ago, I might have felt even more hopeless and lost.
So what exactly is forbidden knowledge?
It's a kind of knowledge that doesn't belong to this world, and a form of truth that can't be understood. It came from the very bottom of the abyss. Even I could never understand it. The world is constantly rejecting it, leading to all kinds of bad phenomena. If we allow forbidden knowledge to pollute Irminsul, I'm afraid the entirety of Tevat could fall apart.
So, there's knowledge that even the God of Wisdom can't understand?
At that time, I knew I couldn't repel the forbidden knowledge with my strength alone, which is why I created a device that compiled human wisdom and named it the Akasha.
It's truly the world's most amazing invention.
Thank you. For a long time, I thought dreams were the fruit of human wisdom. Though it was selfish to do so, I borrowed people's dreams using the Akasha. Then I compiled their wisdom and all of my own power.
Well, did it work?
Thanks to the wisdom of the people of Sumeru, almost all the forbidden knowledge was cleared from Irminsul. But things didn't go as smoothly as I thought. And then I remembered that my consciousness was also connected with Irminsul. It brought me knowledge and wisdom, but vile corruption as well. From the very beginning, my existence had been polluted by the forbidden knowledge.
Oh no. How could that happen?
I've experienced that pain in your consciousness. It must have been a horrible experience.
Yes, but my feelings weren't important. The important thing was that even if I died, my existence and everything related to me would continue to exist in Irminsul as memories and knowledge, meaning that the forbidden knowledge couldn't ever be permanently eradicated, and there's no way for me to eliminate myself. It would be a sort of paradox. So I took the purest branch of Irminsul as my incarnation in the next samsara, and left a trail of clues, all in hopes that you would come here and remove me and my pollution from Irminsul forever.
Wait, no, I can't.
So you realize what that implies? You are very smart indeed. Irminsul has all the knowledge and memories of this world. And as you've realized just now, removing me from Irminsul means I essentially will never have existed in this world. But this is the only way to save Irminsul.
People love you so much, and they've missed you so much over the past 500 years. I am exactly the same. So how can we just forget you like this? Is there really no other way? There must be something else I can do.
You're the god of wisdom, Boer. You should know that there is no other way.
But this is so cruel. I don't want to forget you.
No need to feel so sad, Boer. As someone who delights in wisdom, you should feel joy at finally finding the answer. These are the words in their entirety. The answer you've been seeking all along. Let the world completely forget me. We all nestle under the great tree of wisdom, peering out to perceive the world. From the earth and from the rain, we perceive its wonders, until we become a white bird to perch atop a branch, and finally snap off the most important leaf. Once upon a time, I alone dreamed in this world. In my dreams, everybody would also dream after they fell asleep. Wild and wonderful thoughts would emerge from their minds. Some tumbled to the ground, and others floated to the sky, connecting all things in the world into one dazzling net. Among a plethora of worlds were numerous smaller worlds, all of fate, finding within the tapestry their brilliant glow. I gradually understood that these indescribable and constantly changing things are the most profound things in the world. Only they can completely repel the madness. Only dreams can awaken consciousness from the deepest darkness. I'm the one who posed this question, yet also the one who sought a solution. Saving the world with the dreams of the people used to be my answer. And now, you've also found your own answer, and I shall return all the dreams to the people. Goodbye, people of Sumeru. May you be blessed tonight with the sweetest of dreams.
I'm alright. I'm just a little confused. We've just saved the world, right? So why am I crying? I don't know where this feeling inside of me is coming from. But I feel very sad. Just now, we used the power of DEUS to successfully connect with the Ermin soul consciousness from 500 years ago. Then, we removed the remaining pollution from Merman soul.
Yeah, what's wrong?
Huh? That sound. Traveler! Paimon!
I've been waiting here far too long. But finally I have the chance to be alone with you.
The doctor! What have you done?
Just a type of sound wave that can quickly put defenseless people into a dream. This is the only thing of interest I've found among the sage's research. Don't worry. I know you would never forgive me if I actually killed them. I'm here to negotiate with you. Naturally, I won't do anything dangerous that could potentially damage our relationship.
Negotiate with me? I heard you had already left Sumeru.
I left Sumeru, but I also stayed in Sumeru. Even the God of Wisdom is restricted by the habits of cognition.
You mean there are many different versions of you in this world?
An astute guess. Even the same individual will have different cognitions at different ages. A long time ago, I made a major decision in hopes of preserving all my perspectives of how I observed the world. Observation is the first step of any experiment, but observing... So I saved segments of all my ages and made them into independent individuals. That's all there is to it. Indulge me. How does the God of Wisdom find my method of seeking knowledge?
It's an insult to the very concept of life. Life inherently has many rules and restrictions, each with its own significance and reason to exist. They can't be broken on a whim.
Good. Amazing, even. Indeed, it's difficult for humans to make peace with themselves. Not
Since you're in the academia, why wait until now to show up? You could very well have stopped us and helped that fake god.
simple. Let me ask you this. Would any staff member ever help the subject in the middle of an experiment? It was my experiment.
The academia saw the plan to create a god as their ultimate goal. You really are crazy. If the experiment succeeded, you would have had a new god on your hands. How would you have faced your own god then? Would you still take the same stance? Would you still hold the same view of yourself?
I'm first and foremost a scholar. These results should be left to the judgment of the hypothetical me confronted with that outcome.
As an individual, you don't have any sense of belonging. You seem to have even fewer convictions than a typical scholar.
Oh no, I certainly have my own convictions. All right, that's enough conversation for today. The experiment is over, and it's time to tidy up the equipment and reclaim any useful materials. For example, Lesser Lord Kusanali, you're an intelligent Archon. I'm sure you understand the disparity in our combat abilities at this time. Besides, you have no way to use that electro-gnosis in battle.
Didn't you say you were here to negotiate with me? Somehow, it's starting to seem like you intend to take it by force now.
After all, I'm also a scholar.
Your hypocrisy is built on absolute confidence. I understand your scheme, but... what if I were to destroy the Gnosis now and awaken the heavenly principles?
Awaken the heavenly principles? Do you think that's really possible?
The heavenly principles have been silent for many years, but the Gnosis are symbols of their control over Tevat and all the laws. Will the destruction of a Gnosis attract the attention of the heavenly principles? And if so, how do the Fatui plan to deal with the consequences? Do you dare to gamble such a possibility with me?
Gamble? How surprising. I thought you would show evidence or use rigorous reasoning to prove your point. But this is a clever move. You must have seen through me when I first captured your consciousness. As a scholar, I respect all possibilities. Indeed, I can't ignore this possibility.
This foreign Gnosis will only lead to disaster if it stays in Sumeru. But this electro-Gnosis is the prize I obtained after defeating one of your fellow Harbingers. Now, as the one who initiated this cascade of events, shouldn't you pay the corresponding price?
Price? Interesting. What price would you have me pay?
How about erasing all your other segments?
So this is how you wish to restrict me, the most threatening opponent of the Nation of Wisdom. What you request of me is like plucking out the eyes I have placed in the dimension of time. Segments are extraordinarily difficult to make. Yes, how very interesting. Among all the versions of me, this segment you see now is the most selfish. If it weren't me, your idea wouldn't have worked. What did you see when you were imprisoned? You were observing me.
Like you said, it's difficult to make peace with yourself. Being as smart as you are, have you managed to do that?
I see. If you think all those versions of me are worth a gnosis, then deal.
You sure didn't hesitate much. Is the relationship between all the versions of you really that bad?
I don't think there's any need to dwell on that. The surplus versions of me can be exchanged for a gnosis. Do you think anyone can offer themselves at a higher price? Besides, with my abilities, it's only a matter of time until I find better perspective. But what I'd like to know is, How can you be sure that I've really erased them?
I can see your remaining honesty.
What a ridiculous decision! You can't be serious!
How could I have been so short-sighted?
You think this is the end? Wait, I'll have my revenge!
You'll make this moment count.
You will regret this!
Well, have you confirmed that it's complete?
Here, take it. The future of Sumeru City will be in my hands alone. I will shut down the Akasha and let curiosity and the thirst for knowledge drive the realm of academics once again. There won't be any further gaps for you to exploit.
It truly pains me that my academic achievements have never been appreciated in my homeland. Another chess piece. And where is your dendronosis?
Don't be greedy, Harbinger of Snezhnaya.
No, this is a different transaction. If you intend... Besides, isn't it the Archon's duty? Oh. Judging from your expression, you don't seem to find the idea very agreeable. Then let's think of it this way.
People exchanging knowledge with the God of Wisdom is the stuff of legends. Arrogant as that is, it has piqued my interest.
Let me ask you, have you in all your mighty knowledge ever heard the rumor that the skies of Tevat are fake?
Huh?
That's the secret hidden by Irminsul concerning the truth of this world. Once I finish telling you about this, with negotiations, we've all gotten what we want.
Your arrogance may know no bounds, and convictions may mean nothing to you. But I'll still listen to what you have to say.
Together! Okay, wake her up. Are you awake? Kali says it's time for breakfast. Come on, get up! Good morning! How are you feeling today? Good to hear. It looks like we've recovered pretty well. Come on, Traveler.
Good morning. Looks like you're awake.
Yep.
I prepared some breakfast today. Please.
It's nice to have you here so we can eat something yummy.
Well, now that I've recovered from Alizar, I'm feeling better than ever.
And Paimon bets they're all delicious.
Oh, by the way, someone brought a letter for you after you went to sleep last night.
Nope. Paimon wanted to read the letter with you. Oh, ahem. We're going to hold a feast at the Grand Bazaar and celebrate Cyano's reinstatement as the General Mahamatra. As heroes of Sumeru, please be sure to attend. I'll wait for you.
Oh, I've also heard that you've become heroes here as well. Sometimes I'm really envious of strong...
Oh, anyway, let's go to the Grand...
Oh, before you leave.
Hanari!
Good morning. How do you...
We feel much better. How about...
I'm recovering well. Thanks for asking.
But from the looks of it, you seem to be...
It's fine. I'm not that busy, really. The Elazar patients have recovered, as well as Hypatia. For now, I only need to tend to my forest watcher duties.
It seems once...
Yes, but there are still some residual effects. The withering is one example. Though it won't spread anymore, the existing zones won't just disappear.
By the way, we have some good news.
This news is hardly new.
Huh? You mean he was already...
He visited once, but he was afraid of disturbing you while you were resting.
Then you probably already know all about the celebration feast.
Celebration feast?
Huh? But didn't Nilu say...
Perhaps.
Come to think of it, Sino doesn't seem like the type who'd... You and Kale are both Sino's close friends.
Kala has taken over some of my tasks these days. I don't think she'll have time for it. Not to mention me. You see, some VIPs have come to the forest recently.
Huh?
Well, technically speaking, they are former VIPs. The sages involved in recent incidents have begun their training in the Avidya forest, and
Huh?
Yes, he's a little weak, but he isn't injured and his condition is stable. Lesser Lord Kusanali, in her boundless mercy, has decided to spare Azar and the other wrongdoers. Supposedly, they were ashamed of their shallow ideologies and have decided to dedicate the rest of their lives to cultivating wisdom in the Avidya forest. When they learned that Lesser Lord Kusanali had defeated the Balladeer and saved Irminsul, they were shocked at first, but also became happy. As a result, work has increased for the forest rangers.
That sounds really exhausting.
There's nothing we can do, really. But that's another topic. Back to the matter at hand. Are you two planning to head out?
Ah, right! We're here to request permission to head out.
You've recovered well. You may go, but be careful.
Yay! Will do!
Well, there won't be any problems if the feast starts at that time.
Mr. Zubair, I finished telling things up here.
Oh, it'll be fine. Besides, it never hurts to get things ready in advance.
I was thinking the same thing.
Hey, Nilu!
Traveler, Paimon,
We got your letters, so here we are!
you're the best. The other guests haven't even replied yet.
Huh? Are we the only ones that have arrived?
Yeah, I had someone deliver letters to all of our guests.
Look, I get it. Sumeru is in an extremely important period of transition right now. Nilu is Sumeru's #1 celebrity, after all.
If you consider enjoying Nilu's dance as having good taste, because Paimon thinks everybody will love her performance.
That's right. We all think she's amazing too. Nilu is an absolute favorite among those of us who frequent the Grand Bazaar. Master Zubair, let's have a vote for the most outstanding audience members next time.
Nonsense! It is not for us to determine the value of an audience. But indeed, we could try giving gifts to people with particularly good taste.
Ooh, good idea. I wonder where we can find one.
I don't want you giving pictures of me to everyone. I'm satisfied just being able to perform here.
There's always a lot going on at the Grand Bazaar.
Yeah, and that's why I love it here. Traveler and Paimon, could you help confirm if the letters were actually delivered? If for some reason they didn't receive the letters, then...
Yeah, we can also check out how everything in Sumeru is going now.
When I wrote the letters, as for Sino, I'm not too sure about Ramon's whereabouts. As for Dunyarzad, I just hope she's feeling better. I sent her a letter.
Okay, got it. Let's go, Traveler. La la la. haven't seen Alhaitham anywhere. Let's ask that person over there. Hey there, have you seen Alhaitham around?
Yes, it seems Scribe Alhaitham has gone to the House of Dana, but you're already the second group of people I've seen looking for him today.
Oh? Who else was looking for him?
Mr. Cave was just here asking about him. Don't tell me everyone's here looking for gossip about the sages.
No way, we're strictly here on business.
Ah, I see. Sorry, I thought maybe everyone's as interested in rumors about the sages as I am.
Woo! Da da da! Woo! Da da da! Alhaitham should be around here somewhere, right? Oh, he's over there! But
Just put down that worthless book and tell me what happened in the academia.
This is not just some worthless book.
It doesn't matter. It's probably just another thing that you used your authority to get your hands on anyway.
Oh?
Would I be here asking you if I knew? You're the scribe, not me.
Well, I almost became a sage.
Huh?
Oh, don't sound too surprised now. You're the renowned Kaveh, light of the Kasharawar.
Why do I feel like you don't really mean it?
What makes you say that?
Maybe it's because you've never said anything good about me before.
Yeah, well, I share a similar sentiment. And anyone who knows you as well as I do would
See? This is why I hate discussing anything with you.
It seems... Well, then you might as well move out of my house.
Are you threatening me? Ugh, and don't change the subject. You, a sage? What a joke. The academia might as well just close tomorrow.
are they having a fight?
Forget what's going on with the academia.
Don't get me started. I get angry just thinking about it.
So, what great building did our master architect work on this time?
Like I need to tell you. Keep your nose out of my business.
No, I think we deserve to know. Where were you when Sumeru needed you most?
I was in the desert for a large project, but considering Haravatat's utter ignorance of architectural and aesthetic matters, you probably wouldn't understand. Which is truly unfortunate. I can only pity the man who doesn't understand the first thing about beauty and romance. Hold on, wait a second. What do you mean by when Sumeru needed me most?
Well, while you were out fiddling around in the desert, many people came together to save Sumeru from a crisis.
Ha! And
Look, all you really need to know is that Azar and all his accomplices have all been overthrown.
Huh? What nonsense are you talking about?
It's no skin off my nose if you don't believe me.
You know what? I'll ask around. I'm sure someone knows what's going on here. You're dead if I find out you're lying to me.
Oh, it's you two.
We're running some errands for Nilu. Have you...
Letter?
Nilu said she sent out a letter inviting everyone to a celebration feast in 2 days at the Grand Bazaar.
If she addressed the letter to Alhaitham of the Academia, then the letter should have gone to my office. I've been busy these days, so I haven't had time to check for any new mail at my office.
Have you always been so busy with your work?
Of course not. I'm only busy these days because several sages have been dismissed recently and the whole Academia was practically turned upside down.
Kainari told us they all went to train in the Avidia Forest. Apparently they will spend the rest of their lives there.
That is already the best possible ending for the likes of them. 4 of the 6 great sages were possessed by their desire for power and attempted to create a new god. In order to pull it off, they even imprisoned the other 2 rational sages.
Yeah, you're right. Huh. Feels kind of strange to hear them called that after all this time. But then again, the 6th grade school sounded pretty impressive too.
Yes, at least that's how they're supposed to sound. It's said that when the Academia was first founded, the Dendro Archon herself established the 6 great schools, each representing one of the 6 different types of wisdom. Numerous Darshans have sprung up and faded. Only the 6 Darshans attaching themselves to the 6th grade schools have stood the test of time and obtained permanent seats in the Academia. Now, the 6 Darshans are nearly synonymous with the 6th grade schools, and among the 6th grade sages, there is one central leader, the Grand Sage. Unfortunately, only the sages from Vahumana and Amorta remain now.
So who's managing things in the other 4 schools now?
Yes. Normally, new...
Oh, didn't you just say something about becoming a sage? If they pick you, then we'd have a huge connect...
Yes, about that. You didn't let me finish my sentence. The person in charge of personnel affairs nominated me to be the Grand Sage in place of Azar and help Lesser Lord Kusanali manage the Academia. But I refused.
Huh? But why? Can't you be a little more ambitious?
I'm not even interested in being one of the 6th grade sages. Like I said before, I don't like being a leader.
Oh, all right.
That's not my job either. I'm only responsible for handling important affairs within the Academia before the new sages... And the first thing I'll do is reject Kasharawar's application for
By the way, who was that other person?
Do we look like friends?
Paimon doesn't know. That's what...
His name is Kaveh, my roommate. You could... Which is exactly why he always has so many problems.
So everything that's happened recently must be a huge change for the people of Sumeru.
Such is the work of the
Well, anyway, no matter how busy you are...
All right, I'll see you there.
This is Port Ormos. Now where could...
Is that Paimon I hear?
Huh?
Oh, it's been a while. How are you doing?
Gunyarzad! It's been so long since we've seen you!
I'm doing well. I can go as far as saying I have never been I don't know if you've heard, but Elazar has completely disappeared, and all the patients have recovered.
You kidding? Knowing them and the connections they've got?
Yeah!
That's right. My lady is feeling better now.
Why do you still call me that, Dia? You've already informed my father of your resignation.
I guess I'm just used to calling you my lady.
Resignation? You mean you're quitting?
Yeah, I might start losing my edge if I keep being a bodyguard for the Homayanis.
You know that my parents and I are fond of you, and that we appreciate you very much.
I'm not a woman that's easily persuaded. You should know that by now, my lady. When I took this job, I had already decided that I'd quit as soon as you recovered. It's time for me to get back out there and chase that horizon.
So what are you gonna do now?
I want to take a risky job.
Huh? But we literally just finished one of the most dangerous jobs ever!
I know. If I hadn't joined in that plan with you, I guess I still get fired up by that feeling of going all out in a fight. Life is short, and I'm happy that I got to be a part of that operation. But the whole thing also made me realize that there are still many problems in Sumeru.
Well, I remember a friend had someone bring you a message.
You mean I'll hate them?
We just came from talking with the...
Did he tell you that he suggested that I come work at the academia?
What?
I heard that Azar and his cronies fell from power, and Alhaitham told me that now was a good time to find a job in the academia.
Whoa. Paimon can't see you being anything other than a mercenary.
Me neither. But I think Dia would look great dressed up as a scholar.
Ugh, forget about it. Alhaitham probably just liked the way I worked and knew I'm good in a fight.
But you know, if you take him up on the offer, Sino might actually agree and let you become a Matra. Because you're super amazing!
The Matra have all the talent they need as long as... In fact, I chose this job from the very start because I knew it'd be right up my alley.
Even if being a mercenary means facing all kinds of danger.
A lion has to return to the wild sooner or later.
I don't want to see you go.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Come on, no need for the sad face. It's not like we'll never meet again. Once the whole Dendro Archon thing is settled, everything in Sumeru will take a turn for the better. But a peaceful society will probably mean less demand for mercenaries like me.
Huh? But wait a second! You make it sound like you're leaving now!
Well, no, not yet at least.
So, have you been in Port Ormos this entire time?
Oh, did Nilou write to us?
She heard that you were seen in Port Ormos, so she...
Huh. It was probably sent to the inn that we're staying. My lady has been very energetic lately.
Right, and we tend to leave quite early in the morning, so...
So what it really sounds...
I bet the letter's at the reception desk. I'll go check later.
No wonder there wasn't a reply. You never...
Sorry.
It must be something important for Nilou to specifically write to us like that.
Yes! She said they were preparing a victory feast in the Grand Bazaar.
Great! I'll be sure to...
Count me in, too. But is there some sort of dress code or anything for the feast?
Since it's being...
All right, then this is...
The feast will be held in 2 days, so don't forget!
Sure.
Thank you so much for...
Oh, by the way...
The General Mahamatra always comes and goes without a trace.
Oh.
But last time we met, he mentioned... As for Raman, your guess is as good as mine. I only remember he said that he had... Don't mention it.
All right, I'm torn. It's been a while since we last visited Aru Village. Ah, there's Sino!
What brings you here?
We recovered well,
It seems Gandharvaville's medical treatment is still as good as ever.
And Tainari is recovering well, too.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, you're the one who brought us to him when we lost consciousness.
You're welcome. Tainari has excellent medical skills.
But why are you just standing here like a dead tree?
I'm meeting some people.
Oh, you mean Candace?
I've already talked with Candace and the village chief. They're still at the usual place, but you know one of the people I'm meeting.
Oh, by King Deshret's blessing, my friend suddenly appears in the desert. Don't tell me you've run into trouble and need us to help now.
Roman!
Oh.
Oh, well, you're pretty famous in the academia.
Don't worry, these are our friends.
I see.
I'm doing well.
Same here. Really, I feel that my whole life has started to shine after suddenly finding a new direction.
Oh, tell us everything.
Yeah.
All right, well, I suppose I should start by saying I've decided to leave the academia.
What?
It's not that I've given up on being a scholar. Instead, you could say I've found a new identity. I will no longer pursue research like a typical scholar. I plan to leave the academia and return to teach here in the desert.
Wow, so you want to become a teacher?
Sataria will return to support education here and teach people from the desert. She can't teach everyone on her own, but there are many of us Eremites all over Sumeru.
Yes, it's my hope that the Eremites can help me select a group of smart people with the best aptitude for teaching. That is the true meaning of education and
The people of King Deshret suffer from sandstorms, exile, and ignorance. The stars have always guided caravans, thieves, soldiers, and travelers who get lost in the night.
Oh, please. Where's all of this coming from?
You deserve these compliments.
Sataria's idea will bring much good to many people.
At first, I feared it was destined to fail. Everyone knows that the academia doesn't allow scholars to teach in the desert without permission. As you know, all knowledge is under their surveillance and control. But what I heard at that time has been haunting my heart, as if there were lightning bolts constantly bombarding my soul. Sataria, you tread a treacherous path. Sataria, why haven't you gone home? These words sparked something in me, and I knew that I had to bring something back to my people after going home. I gathered up the courage to approach the Grand Sage.
Azar has received much-needed punishment.
Lord Sino helped me obtain permission to leave the academia for the desert. My plan was able to go smoothly thanks to him and Raman.
You're all doing so much for the desert.
Aside from that, I also have some other business to discuss.
Lesser Lord Kusanali has allocated many resources to support and develop the desert. I applied for a few batches of educational materials from the academia and sent them to several groups in the desert.
That's exactly.
Apart from this, the academia is also recruiting scholars that are willing to teach in the desert. We must be persistent about this.
This is the first time in hundreds of years we've had a glimmer of hope. Remember these words. Here lies our faithful priest, Kasala. I hope people with wisdom like that priest will rise again among the desert dwellers.
Enough about us. Are you here to discuss some business too?
No, not at all. Neela wanted to write to everyone, but she wasn't sure where the letters should be sent. A celebration feast will be held in 2 days at the Grand Bazaar. At the feast, we'll also be celebrating Sino's reinstatement as General Mahamatra. Although, judging from your appearance, it seems you've already been reinstated.
Celebration? Feast? It's the first I've heard.
Tainari was right. He really...
This feast is for you.
It's rare to see that kind of expression from Lord Sino.
No, not really.
Well, I still have a lot to handle here.
I'm afraid I won't be able to join you. The message is, I'm sorry for how I treated you before, but now I understand the beauty of your dance. It's like a light shining in the sky. You and the art you symbolize are not only beautiful, but also lively and powerful. So much so that it was prohibited. Please keep dancing. And someday, I'll be able to appreciate your art in person.
Okay, we've got all that down. Our job here is complete as well.
Got it.
The world.
Today's the big day! Let's go to the Grand Bazaar and see how the celebration's coming along.
Transitory.
Everybody's already here. Looks like we're the last ones to arrive.
I'm here.
Ah, there you are.
Well, look who finally decided to show up.
You look like you came here immediately after finishing up some work.
But we're not late, are we?
I propose that the last one who arrived be put in charge of today's speeches.
Nah, there won't be any speeches today.
Oh, really?
Come join us over here. Let's share.
Everything looks quite good.
Wow! Paimon can't wait! Whoa!
The food was specially prepared for you by everyone in the Grand Bazaar. Everyone that came said that you saved Sumeru and wanted me to thank you all on their behalf.
Ah, feels kind of nice to be seen as a hero.
Being a bodyguard is also a hero's job.
My lady sure has a way with words.
And I'm happy to meet everyone that participated in the great plan.
Don't mention it.
Come to think of it, we've really done something impressive together.
We owe it to our abilities.
Really? Why do I remember everybody thinking that luck was against us and feeling like we hardly had a chance of succeeding?
That's how I remember it too.
It's luck that brought us together, and it was luck that let us form a team. Then, it took even more luck for us to... Moreover, judging from the results, everything worked out well.
Yeah. Everyone gave it their all when it mattered most. It was almost like a performance. We took the stage and put on our best show. Everyone played their part. And thanks to everyone's efforts.
So, would you say we're good actors too?
It's such a blessing that Lesser Lord Kusanali was able to return to power at the Academia.
Yes! Even after being abandoned and neglected so many times. Lesser Lord Kusanali once used all her power in a great disaster, which resulted in her losing all her wisdom and memories of the past. This should be something everybody should remember. Huh? You look surprised.
No, everything you said is correct.
Something wrong?
Yeah, what's with that face? You knew all of this already.
Even if those two giants of the Academia are here, I still have to say it. Those sages really have some nerve. If you bite the hand that feeds you, don't act surprised when it turns into a knuckle sandwich, right, Sino?
Perhaps I shouldn't say this.
You could simply tell Lesser Lord Kusanali that you wish to have Azar and his accomplices severely punished.
I respect our deities while we're on this topic.
Are you trying to say that I'm fit to be a sage?
Not at all. But every person handling the selection process...
Why? Because he dethroned Azar from power?
Could you try to put it another way?
But seriously, though, I always wondered if you had some personal motives behind.
I did have my own motive, but it had nothing to do with being a sage. If the rules of our nation were suddenly cast by the wayside, then it...
By that, you mean your life working as the Academia's scribe.
Precisely.
Wait.
So, that's the only...
It's reason enough.
You've certainly got quite the personality.
You flatter...
All right then. How about you? You've already resumed work as the General Mahamatra.
That's right.
Will you be happy?
It's not about being happy.
Even so.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
There. Well, how is it? That is the first time I've ever invited so many exceptional people to one place. You see, every guest here is quite extraordinary. Make sure you live it up tonight. I'll be happy. I'm honored to have her think of me this way. If I have a chance in the future, I would really like to invite her to one of my performances. I can't explain why, but I just feel elated right now.
The atmosphere here is good. and everything is delicious. I don't often come to such places. I have a lot to handle these days. There's always next time.
My lady, the grilled meat over there is delicious.
Yes, I also tried some fruit just then. What an amazing place to relax.
You said it. Oh, look who else is...
Hello. Oh, I'm so happy Nilou invited everybody.
Hey, less of that polite chit-chat and more eating and drinking.
I seldom participate in such lively gatherings. No. The Grand Bazaar is lively because the people here feel happiness from the bottom of their hearts. That happiness is an emotion that'll be forever alien to those bookworms who have driven themselves insane by studying. I seem to have taken both keys when I left the house. Oh well.
Hey, what's wrong? Your head is starting to droop. Hey, you can't just fall asleep here. Paimon will go find something delicious for you to eat. You wake up, of course. Just wake.
It's me. You may blame me for being a bit too self-indulgent. The connection between us is amazing. It's like flora and the fence it grows upon. I heard there's an amazing celebration feast today at the Grand Bazaar. Lately, I've been so busy dealing with all the fallout from recent events. Although you've already helped me with a lot, there's still one more thing I hope you can help me with. Please say thank you to everyone for me. But if I just show up all of a sudden, what if I end up scaring them and Okay. Yes, I have. You said I should go thank everyone as myself, right? So... I've decided to borrow your body for the time being. Please don't blame me. The flora also climbs up to the fence to get closer to the sky. Everyone!
Are you awake now? Paimon was just a...
It's me.
Huh? That fool...
Hold up, what's going on?
I didn't expect to have a conversation with the consciousness of Lesser Lord Kusanali in the Grand...
No, of course not. Are you... Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Hello, Nilou.
You know who I am?
Yes, I already know every one of you. Nilou, Alhaitham, Sino, Dia, Paimon, and Dunyarzad.
Lesser Lord Kusanali?
I took the liberty of occupying the Traveler's body so that I could thank all of you in person. Thank you so much for rescuing me, even if that meant placing your own safety in peril and taking the risk of becoming enemies with the Academia, the sages, the doctor, the balladeer, and even the entirety of Sumeru. Without you, without any of you, I would have been in a much more difficult situation. Had you not helped me to resolve the crisis, not only I, but Sumeru and even the entirety of Tevat would have suffered great misfortune. People refer to you as the heroes who managed to rescue a god. I'm quite fond of this name. It not only explains your identities, but also bears witness to your relationship with me. Please, Allow me to present to you my most sincere gratitude.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, you have done so much for Sumeru, and I didn't even have a chance to do anything.
Dingerzad, the suffering you endured during your illness is also proof of you being with me and praying for me.
You don't need to be so ceremonious. It's always been my duty to protect you.
This is how the relationship between the Academia and Dendro Archon should be. We just did what was necessary and set things back on the right path.
You're an Archon, but you act so humble. You really don't need to be so polite with us.
I'm honored to have been able to take part in this plan.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Are you awake? Did you rest well? After Nahida left, you ate a lot of food. You've become a glutton. That just means you still have a lot to learn from Master Paimon. All right, since you're awake now, she should be in the Academia right about now.
Hello, traveler. What a fantastic night. I'm still immersed in all the happiness and joy.
So are we, and that's why we're here to talk with you.
Is there anything you want to know? After recent events, the Akasha can no longer function as it used to. I've given it some thought, but this is definitely not a bad thing. Even from the beginning, I've been planning to shut it down. The Akasha's centralized administration of knowledge has always restrained people's curiosity and curtailed the number of paths available to them. Although people may initially feel a little uncomfortable with the loss of the Akasha, and as for the future of Sumeru, I'm preparing to regain control of the Academia. The former sages have received their punishment, but the new sages have yet to be selected. I hope that the new 6 great sages will be more focused on academics. The other big issue is the people of King Deshret. All the residents of the desert, in fact. I've already taken some measures to address this. Is that where you're headed next? As far as I know, that nation operates in a judicial system.
Does their Archon personally judge people?
No, there's a Chief Justice in Fontaine. Generally speaking, the Hydra Archon, Focalor, won't preside over individual trials. However, even then, Focalor will still make herself present at just about every trial. As Archon, she still reserves the right to influence the final verdict. Anyway, let's just say she's got, a very unique personality. He's still in a coma. I've hidden him like how one would hide a feather. I know you have many misgivings about him, but as someone who had become a god, he has retained a number of very useful features. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on him and make sure he doesn't do any evil. In addition, there are still some mysteries left in him. Some things may be very clear from my perspective. His future will be determined by fate. You mean, what happened after the doctor put you to sleep? Not exactly. The top-ranked Fatui Harbingers, up to number 3, possess power comparable to that of gods. I was no match for him in that kind of situation. However, in spite of the bad situation, I still managed to make a fair deal with the doctor. I'm sure you remember the entity that changed your fate, the Heavenly Principles. In fact, the Heavenly Principles has been quiet since the Conria disaster 500 years ago. I used this point as leverage against the doctor. I told him that the Heavenly Principles may be awakened if I destroy the Gnosis. Although it's just a bluff, he still fell for it. I assumed that the Heavenly Principles wouldn't just stand by and let such extensive damage to its laws take place. And as for what I exchanged for the Gnosis, the exchange served as both punishment for the doctor, as well as a boon of new knowledge that I couldn't refuse as the God of Wisdom. Are you sure? Isn't there something else you haven't asked about yet? Huh? About your brother. While you were resting at Gandharvaville, I took some time to perform an Irminsul search for information on your brother.
Yeah! Isn't Irminsul a repository for all the information and memories of Teyvat?
This is true in your case. Irminsul indeed does not have any information on you. However, there must be something different about your brother. Because, as it turns out, the world has recorded information on him after all.
What?
There's only one possible explanation. He belongs to this world.
But nothing about this makes any sense! Wasn't this your first trip to Teyvat?
According to the records I was able to access, your sibling suddenly appeared in Conria. After the Conria disaster, he began his journey through the 7 nations of Teyvat. But just as his journey was about to reach its conclusion, the Irminsul records on him suddenly become fuzzy.
What do you mean, fuzzy?
All I know for sure is that somebody, for reasons only they can know, is deliberately obfuscating his fate. And whoever it is, if they can do that, who knows what else they're capable of.
But even that wouldn't explain...
Something else I noticed was that according to these records, the Fatui have not classified your sibling as one of the Descenders.
What's a Descender? Paimon's never heard of it.
Look, I'm sure you must be curious about the information I received from the Fatui in return for my Gnosis, right? A very important part of the intel was about this world's Descenders. External beings, ones that don't belong to this world. Traveler, you are Teyvat's 4th Descender.
Huh? So the Fatui count 3 other Descenders before the Traveler, and her brother isn't even one of them?
That's right. My current hypothesis is that the first Descender was likely what we now call the Heavenly Principles. As for the other Descenders, I still need to verify their existence.
Paimon's head's about to burst from all this crazy new information.
And yet, even knowing all this, I'm sure you must still have a lot of unanswered questions. There are many questions in my heart as well. And soon, you'll also begin your journey anew, and I'm very interested in your future. If fate is the ultimate knowledge, then your future will be the ultimate fate.
Paimon's sure glad we got to meet you, Nahida.
The pleasure is all mine. Alright, that's enough talk for today. If you ever miss me, just close your eyes, and maybe I'll appear in your dreams. Is there anything you want to know? And soon, I'm very interested in your future. If fate is the ultimate knowledge, then your future will be the ultimate fate.
Paimon's sure glad we got to meet you, Nahi.
The pleasure is all mine. Alright, that's enough talk for today.